So after we talked about everything, now we can do it in front of the camera. My first question is that the inspiration of your comic called The Butcher of Paris was a trial of Marcel Pétion, I think, sorry for my French, that stunned you deeply that you needed space for from the script why you wrote it. And after it was published 3 years later, you wrote a character in Grimm with the same first name.
Oh, I didn't even realize I did.
Why did you choose this French name for a really gentle, good friend?
I don't know where the name came from for Grimm. I don't remember. It could have been a collaboration between myself and Flaviano where we came up with it. I kind of know where like Eddie came from. Jess just had like a really good ring to it. We liked that her name was Jessica, shortened to Jess. And it sounded good with the last name Harrow. But that's weird. I don't really know where Marcel came from.
This is my conspiracy theory, and you will meet a lot during our interview.
Good. So. Okay. If there is a conspiracy in my work and you have found it, I'm for it. So.
Okay. I try it. Is there a role or a job for it? Because I will take it.
Perfect.
Okay, thank you.
Conspiracy theorist about. I'm not sure what conspiracy I'm pushing, but I appreciate it anyways.
Yeah, because both of the characters are. Oh, I don't want to spoil it. Okay, let's stop it here. Yeah, they have more similarities, but they are not the same.
No, they're not.
No, because it's I remember it's a really good plot twist in here, and I don't want to spoil it. Sorry.
Okay.
My next question is, in Harley Quinn, issue 18, there is a quote. Can I read quotes from it? Okay, because I took a lot of notes, and if you say no, then our interview is end. So I hope you will say yes. And yes, we did earn an A- on the PowerPoint presentation about metaphors in vampire literature, but the only thing I learned is that team projects suck. Maybe I'm wrong, but I guess that this internal or inner dialogue, I don't know what is used in English, came from a real life experience. Do you hide yourself in your characters or try to write more objectively?
I think it depends on the character. But I think it's always easier to put in some of your own experience, and I think the audience relates to that more when they read it. Harley was very personal. I think Grimm is very personal. Yeah. But there have been other things I've written that are like, I don't know, I don't think Cosmic Ghost Rider is as personal. But for me, that was like a really cool experiment in getting to write something cosmic or big because I haven't done that before. So there's something personal about everything that I write. But as far as like what has the most me in it, probably Harley and Grimm.
Oh
yes.
Yeah. This is my other conspiracy theory that you hide yourself in this character. So thank you.
Well, don't wait. Like, I mean, let's save on therapy bills. And write Harley Quinn comics.
Nice. And my one of my favorite corny lines when you try to learn how to write is write what you know. And sorry.
Yeah.
To begin with this. Okay, sorry. We can go on.
No, that's good.
I will ask about Cosmic Ghost Rider, so thank you to come with this. My most favorite question is, I hope it won't be really offensive, as I know correctly, you are a Muay Thai fighter and a doctor of philosophy and in rhetoric and composition. Do you think there is a multiverse variant of you who beats up people as a villain if their English is not good?
No.
Because I will be in danger in that case.
No. I think I've worked with way too many students that didn't speak English as a first language. And I think that's something that really bothered me was they would struggle because there were a lot of professors or teachers that were like not compassionate towards the situation of learning another language, which I've tried to learn other languages and it's very difficult. And like, that's I took a lot of French classes and a little bit of Spanish, but it's really tough. And asking somebody to sit down and write an essay in that language that they're not very well versed in, I can't imagine how tough that is. And so not having any compassion for that situation is like, I hope there's no multiverse version of me that's like not compassionate about that, because that would really, really bother me. Like when I hear other teachers like, oh, this essay, it's like, yeah, because that person speaks 5 languages and English is their most recent language. Like that's not entirely fair. And you know, there are systematic issues that put non-native speakers in classes where they should know more than they do, and that's not their fault either. So
thank you.
Yeah, hopefully there's no multiverse me that is that mean. I hope.
Then you have to get her or him. We can know. It's not in my questions, but I learned a lot from you and Marcel speaking a lot of in French, and I wanted to ask it, how do you use this in your dialogues? Do you learn the language or just cut out well-used French expressions into your works?
It's probably a little of both. I'm not super fluent in French, but I'm trying to learn more. I listen to like French TV shows or movies.
Oh my God.
I like the language, and if I'm immersed in it for a while, I can like start to get around again. But 6 years of French classes, sometimes I can use a little.
Respect. It's again a quote from Cosmic Ghost Rider, and when I started to read it, my first talk about this was you started another genre, and I was really curious about it, and I am happy that you came up with that. You didn't know how to start it because you mostly wrote girls and in a really sarcastic and humorous mode, not really a Western genre. For me, it was it. But you will see I am all right, or is it true or not? So the quote is, take the money and run, if only vengeance was so simple. My first reaction was that it can be a quote from Unforgiven. Yeah, and when I start to see Johnny Blaze's real face, not the Ghost Rider face, it was really resembling to Clint Eastwood, but I don't think you said to the drawer that please draw him like this.
No, I didn't. I wasn't even anticipating getting a version of Frank that was, I think, that different, and the artist kind of took it and ran with it, which I thought was cool. Like, give him really his own, like, somebody that's decided to retire from being the Cosmic Ghost Rider and who's like really racked with guilt. I think the design that he gave Frank was really cool. So myself, editorial, we were all like, that looks great. So yes, it was cool to see him redesign Frank.
Yeah, after the previous comic, I also loved, but it was a cosmic Star Wars, big wars and Thanos and everybody. You have to deal with Galactus, and now we go to the Logan tribute that he will go back and live a peaceful life, but he can't because trouble will find him. Right. I'm looking forward for the next issues.
Yes.
So thank you. My next question is, there are only 4 ones, so we will get through this really quickly. I say it. When you write a comic, do you choose the songs in it like Quentin Tarantino or Edgar Wright? Because, or is there a musical team who decide them? Because in Grimm, there's a Blue Oyster Cult, The Doors, Bikini Kill, Chicago, and Elvis.
Yes.
And my question is, you are a big Bruce Springsteen fan.
Yes.
There is a tattoo on your biceps from
Yes.
him. But there is no Bruce Springsteen songs in your comics. I am right?
Oh, there are.
Conspiracy theory, yeah!
In Volume 2 of Grimm, Devils and Dust is the title of a Bruce Springsteen song. And I've actually hidden Bruce in most of the stuff I write. There's hidden Bruce Springsteen like all throughout Harley. There was a song that one of the Harley issues, the name of the issue was like a Bruce title. There's the Hungry Heart Bar and Cafe. Yeah, I kind of hide it in places.
Jeez, that's cool. Thank you.
Yeah. But I think Bruce is, I think he's an inspiration, so I like hiding his work in different places. But Devils and Dust was also like a perfect title for Volume 2 of Grimm. So.
Thank you. I didn't realize it, but I really like the cover version of David Bowie's "Low" when they get into Eddie's room, and it's a
yes. I know. Flaviana does a really good job of integrating the music visually, which has been, I think, putting music in a comic is really tough, and I've avoided it. So doing it, I do it sometimes in Grimm, because I know Flaviana does such a good job of it. Yeah.
I like it. Thank you. Free to go. It's a little bit personal. If you say pass, it's fine for me. Do you show your draft to Brian? Because I would love to see his action during this insert from Grimm. All Brian's with an Epsilon, Epsilon, Y, thank you, are automatically assholes. Just spell your name like a normal Brian.
No, actually, that line was written before I was with Brian.
No conspiracy theory.
No, there wasn't. It was so perfect though, because I've been working on Grimm for a long time. As far as like working with him or collaborating, I think that's maybe one of the benefits is just like, if I get stuck on something, I'm very verbal. So getting to be like, hey, I'm stuck on this. Let's go like have dinner, and I'm just gonna like talk it out. And sometimes it's just like, I know this as a teacher, I would ask my students a lot of questions, like, what are you trying to say here? Because I'm a little lost. Like, what are you trying to get at? And I think he's also really good at just asking questions that can help push to the next point. And sometimes he needs that too, and I really like that we have that ability. Also trying to separate it sometimes. It's like, no more comics. I don't want to talk about comics. We do it all day. Or we're at conventions a lot, so sometimes it's just like, we just want to watch stupid TV and not deal with that.
Yeah, spoke about it, and I wanted to ask that. What is your guilty pleasure shows?
Ooh, I Think You Should Leave is probably number one right now. We will rewatch that. Have you seen it? Do you know what it is?
Nope.
It's a sketch comedy show on Netflix.
Oh my God.
With these like really short little comedy sketches. And they are, I think it's like the funniest thing ever made. So I will watch it all day. I will rewatch it. Yes. I think it's amazing. And a new season just came out like last week. So been trying to watch it while I travel.
Oh my God. Yeah, because is it easy to get your Netflix while you are traveling, because the region code is changing? You don't have to use a VPN or something?
We do, yeah.
Oh my God.
We have a VPN, but I think Netflix works okay. That one seems to be okay. HBO and Hulu are another story. Okay. Or I download things before I travel, and then
I don't hear that. We don't know what is it. Just kidding. So the most serious question is, at the Tampa Bay Lightning and the Buffalo Sabres game.
Yes.
Who are you cheering or rooting for?
Tampa.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry to Buffalo.
Talked about it, yeah.
But I'm born and raised in Tampa. I will always pick Tampa. But Buffalo became like my backup team when I lived in Buffalo. Went to a lot of Sabres games and became a fan.
We can see the evidence on your Instagram.
Yeah.
Last question, if you are ready.
Yeah.
To wrap this thing. I think it's hard to write a character like Harley who has a big emotional scale. You can easily turn her corny, but your tone shifts during a scene are always perfect. How do you write her? So it's a tough
No,
question.
I mean, it is tough because I feel like maybe there's something very natural about writing Harley. There wasn't initially, and I think over the course of the first few issues, like getting the feel for like this is my Harley voice. Like I could slip into that voice like really easily and start to write that character. And I mean that was a really cool thing about getting to do like over 30 issues of Harley. Is like you really get to have like a personal connection to that character. That was like 3 years of which doesn't seem very fun, like a lot, but also like being in a pandemic, it's like you're isolated with Harley. It's like really getting to know the character. I'd pick her over a lot of other companies. I think it was just a matter of like learning, like this is my Harley voice, and once I got it down, it became really, really natural to like jump into that voice and write her. And I think I'm hopefully getting to that point with Grimm, because like Harley, I get a lot of runway with Grimm. So learning, even though Flaviano and I created them, I'm still learning them, and they're going through changes as well. So learning, like there was even something the other day where it's like I felt very strongly. Someone was like, maybe Marcel should say this in the script, and I was like, no, Marcel would not say that. Like
I really like this. This
it became very much. I was like very adamant. I was like, I know he wouldn't think that. I know he wouldn't say it. Like that is not Marcel.
Absolutely.
And it's maybe different from what I would say in the moment. So Marcel has kind of grown away from me, away from Flaviano, like to be someone who's very structured and set. I think Jessica is maybe the most personal character. Eddie, a lot of fun to write. I think we're getting to a point where he's now developing more and growing with depth. So, I'm glad I have that chance again, like I did on Harley, to let the characters like really feel established.
And Grimm is your most sold comic
Yes.
that I know correctly.
I think we're on printing number 5.
Oh my god! I was at 3, so.
Okay, it's
nice. Congratulations, sure.
Thank you.
You deserve it.
I appreciate that. I mean, it's very, it's a little surreal. Like sometimes when people bring me Grimm, and like I have people asking me to sign Grimm more than something like Harley, and that. When people point it out to me, like, oh, it's a fluke. It's like, it's just for today, this time, and then like, it keeps happening. It's like, oh, maybe people also like the weird dead girl that I created, which is nice.
We like her, so
good.
Please keep on writing.
Thank you.
Could I said it's the last one, but I have another one I want to ask.
Yeah,
it's fine
of course.
for you. Sorry. So
it's fine.
If I know correctly, your comic We Only Kill Each Other nominated on Jucon.
Yes.
Yeah, sorry.
I think they call it a juicy, and if I'm saying that wrong, I love it personally. Like,
okay,
yes,
this is a really, really nice name, and sorry I misspelled it.
No, you're correct. It's for a Jewish convention that they're doing in November.
And you are in a fight with Neil Gaiman's Sandman.
Oh, am I? Okay. Well, I mean, if Neil Gaiman wants to go.
But I don't want this conversion to go in this way, but sorry for it. My question is that I have a quote I really liked in this comic, that raise a dog on a steady diet and hate and abuse, it grows up mean. It grows up ready to protect itself no matter what. And you are goddamn right, that comes in handy. And oh my god, when I read this, my first thought was that I am really into it, that I want to see how you write these characters. And after I get this sentence, I was like, okay, it's gonna work. You nailed it.
Oh, thank you.
So
yeah, that was I really wanted to tell that story, but I also really wanted to create a book of male characters. I am often asked to write like Wonder Woman, Harley. Obviously I love these characters, but I think there's a lot of typecasting that happens. Like I am more than just women characters.
Yep.
And as a writer, I should be able to be more versatile than that. And I'm not telling the experience of being a man, which I can't do, but I can write this perspective, which is very foreign to me, of a Jewish American gangster fighting Nazis pre-World War II. Like that, I've never been through that, but I really wanted to learn it. I wanted to show that like this should be a skill that we have as writers to get into different mindsets and be imaginative and have empathy, which is, I think, a really big thing, is being like empathetic to that situation, as much as we can without going through it enough to be a vessel for that story. And there are still personal elements, even though it's a lot of male characters. There's a lot about the dynamic of father relationships, which is something I'm very interested in. It's in Grimm. I love that dynamic and that relationship. Because I have a really cool and unique relationship with my dad. Like you mentioned, my Bruce tattoo. The lyrics, the lyrics of my tattoo were written in my dad's handwriting, and you know, it's like I'm interested in that dynamic of like looking up to your father, and it's for some of my characters that goes very wrong, and for some they end up maybe having a healthier perspective, like Jess does, as much as she can with a Grim Reaper father. So.
I don't want to say it because if the readers...
Oh no, you can bleep it out.
Okay, we will. So let's wrap it before I will kill the interview with some stupid question or something.
Thank you very much.
So thank you for your
thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thank you.